Hello, I am getting ready for work. I'm doing it a little bit early than I typically would so I can film a makeup video, but today I already went to the grocery store. I've straightened up some, and as long as I have plenty of time, I'm going to do more of that because it is a blood moon eclipse tonight. So basically that's just like all about cleansing, to not do any manifestations, just to do shadow work, cleanse your mind, body, soul, the works. Which also means it's an amazing time to do some purging. I just did some white, so I'm going to do a little bit of the contouring just to give a little dimension. I'm going to go underneath, right here. So like that, just a little bit of blending. I'm also going to just start kind of contouring my nose a little bit just to get a start on that. But yeah, some updates. My couch is officially finished. It only took a very long time, and I mostly had help doing it, mostly didn't do it. But whatever, it's done. I'm very thankful for the help, of course. I will accept help wherever I can get it. At this point in my life, I'm 100% open to receiving. Just because I've been doing it alone for so long.
And say hello to Space Ranger 3000 in the back. Hello, buddy.
Anyways, speaking of purging, I'm gonna do some contour and blush. I am getting rid of so many things. It's ridiculous. Even before I had moved, I was getting rid of so much. I am honestly kind of shocked by how much stuff I had. Am I shocked? I'm actually not shocked. Okay, I think that's about enough. I'm actually not shocked because with the way I grew up, I think I held a lot of attachment to materialistic items. I'm gonna do some freckles real quick, but yeah, I think I just held too much value on them because people would leave so fast in my life that that is just how I remembered people by the things, or if I had things, maybe I would feel better because I felt like I didn't have a lot, if that makes sense. And other than through COVID, I was pretty much the same size through high school on, and even now I'm a little bit smaller than that because I'm taking care of myself. And by taking care of myself, I just mean I'm not fucking binge drinking and smoking weed every day, which the binge drinking subsided a while ago, but I did use marijuanas as a crutch, which I haven't smoked in a very, very long time at this point now, just because I feel like I'm so much more happy and fulfilled in my life that I don't need to do that kind of thing, whereas before I felt like that's just how I got through my existence. That sounds so sad, but I don't mean it to be in a sad or woe's me way, but I just really was not happy with my life, and now I feel completely different. I had been kind of using substances, whether it's weed, alcohol, other drugs for a very long time, pretty much since I was a teenager, to dissociate from my own reality. Though luckily I've never had much of an addictive personality, and once I was got my mind right, I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. I need to figure this out, but I was still using weed as a crutch. Not that I think that there's anything wrong if you can smoke weed on a daily basis and get through life. I just didn't feel like I could really do much other than work and smoke. And I would smoke quite literally from the moment I got off. Sometimes I would smoke midway through the day until I was passed the fuck out, which is crazy to think about. I know I didn't film the blue part, and that's my bad, but I added some blue. But yeah, I quite literally, I think the first time I ever did a harder drug was maybe 15, which is a story in itself. It was definitely meth molly. But we live and we learn. Honestly, that shit scared me enough to not touch it again for a very, very, very long time. Now, with all that being said, like, I don't think I'll ever be 100% sober unless, like, I need it to be. I don't think that there's anything wrong with, like, using things here and there. It's just whenever you're using it to do what I was doing, not the best. Granted, I did have, like, a harder childhood, so, like, I understand why I did the things I did, and I can forgive myself for those things, and I can forgive myself for the choices I've made in the past, like pretty much everything I've ever done. Like, even in my last relationship, like, he was 100% not the only problem. I can take accountability where accountability is due, and I can also not necessarily justify my actions, but like I can understand why things played out the way they did. I honestly shouldn't have stayed in it as long as I had, but I genuinely felt financially trapped. But now, after everything I've seen and everything that has gone down, I was genuinely scared of being out on my own, feeling like I couldn't do it. But I also just didn't know what it took to live on my own. He pretty much controlled and took care of all the bills and everything, and I would just like blindly Venmo him, so I never really knew what the fuck was going on. And that is definitely on me. Like, I should have been like, why am I paying for this? Like, what is this? And he would make all the choices. And I just felt like I couldn't speak up. But the accountability part is like, I literally could have. I could have every single time. Now, would the reaction not be what I want? Of course, but I had to be prepared to deal with that. I did some black eyeliner to my corner. I'm gonna blend it out with this blue real quick. And then I'm gonna add like a highlight at the bottom. Now, my ex was really weird about money, and I think it's because he was probably addicted to crypto. He was definitely doing crypto. I don't know 100% if he was addicted, but if I had to guess, because of his behavior and the nickel and diming, like quite literally down to the cent on Venmo, even for things like that would be super strange. I didn't know how to navigate asking him or standing up for myself whenever it came to finances. But also because of the way I grew up, like with my stepdad, he was untreated bipolar and would do drugs. So I didn't know how to navigate when men were angry at me. And I genuinely held a lot of resentment for my ex because of the way the finances were handled. And that is on me. Like, I shouldn't have been as resentful, especially if I wasn't going to speak up. He also came from privilege, but I just couldn't understand why he would handle things like that, and I thought it would always get better. And don't get me wrong, like, I would say things here and there because it would bother me. It'd be like, hey, like, I got this, why won't you get this? Like, but at a certain point, I just kind of gave up. And on top of all of that, doing all the chores and like everything, I was working 3 jobs. I felt like I didn't have time to myself. Oh, there's Junie. Y'all have no idea, this cat is a completely different cat since I moved, and I'm so happy. But yeah, probably the midpoint of our relationship, I pretty much knew what I was gonna do, and I was gonna climb myself out of the financial pit that was dug. And I knew I was gonna eventually leave because I felt emotionally neglected, but also just like I felt mistreated. It's so cute. Throughout this process, I've definitely lost a lot, but I've also learned a lot. I'm so grateful for all the lessons I've learned, and I've learned how to love myself and treat myself with kindness and forgiveness. Because I think a part of me thought I deserved all of that. I'm trying to decide if I want to add a corner lash or not, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I almost forgot to add some of my little dots, so I'm gonna go ahead. Like so. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I was debating on a corner lash, but I think this is cute for now. Plus, I'm extremely hungry. I need to eat something ASAP Rocky. And if I want to put on a corner lash before I go to work, I will. the final look. Have a nice day.